Hello and welcome everyone to Toronto Electronic Music Producers online meetup for July 2025. Um, so our typical format for our regulars, it's well known. For anyone else who's new to this, we basically have electronic music sent in by the producers, and we put everyone's name into a random selector, and we choose and then we go ahead and play the music and or video in some cases. So some of our members produce video in addition to music, but otherwise, actually, there's someone in the waiting room here. Just bear with me a second. Okay.
Hey, the Zoom audio is coming through on YouTube.
Yes, that's the idea is so make sure to have the sound turned down on the YouTube
Okay,
during the conversation because it can get feedback. But yes.
gotcha.
Yeah, we've decided, because there's other people that are watching it from outside and they would miss the Zoom conversation. So now there's at least context, right? So that's been our new format for a few years there, Peter. And so yes, basically that's the idea. Welcome, Sudhanshu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. I apologize if I'm
Oh no,
butchering that.
that's fine. That's actually pretty good. It's Sudhanshu. Um,
Sudhanshu, nice to meet you.
yeah, I'm like, nice to meet you. I should rename it because like this is a producer chat. I should put my artist name in there too.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. You can actually change it though if you wanted to. You can just right click, I believe,
Yeah,
and rename,
just
but no
yeah.
big deal, but good to see you. But yeah, so if you haven't already, you should submit music if you intend to share music to the email address. And I'll put it here in the Zoom chat. Uh, temper@mailfence.com. So that's the email to send any music files or links. And I was stating right before you joined that a lot of times people will even do videos and whatnot, so that's always an option. But otherwise, just MP3 WAV is typically the best format, or links. We can typically play those back as well. But yeah, we started off, or more or less 10 years ago, in-person meetup group in the city of Toronto. And then during COVID time, we kind of migrated to this Zoom format. And since we have people from everywhere over the world these days, we have Vostel, for example, joining us from Romania.
It's my pleasure, my friend. Every time I
Yes,
come
yes,
here, it's a good time.
yes, good to have you. And yeah, so Vostel, is a good example of, part of the reason why. But then obviously we have people from the US and all across Canada and elsewhere joining in. So it's nice to have an opportunity to go beyond the geographical borders. We do live events here in Toronto. So for people who actually are here, so as a way to socialize and whatnot, we do have regular events. Tends to be like now maybe a little bit drum and bass centric, you know what I mean? It being my kind of genre, but we have definitely done like, techno and different genres, even like stuff that isn't even named, you know what I mean? Like we were always quite open to being, what's the word I'm looking for? Not genre focused, so people could submit anything that's basically electronic, sometimes even hybrid.
Electronic eclectic.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Yeah. And it's good, it's healthy to have debates even about categorizations, and some people don't even like to have those types of associations. I sometimes can sympathize with people that say maybe there's too many subgenres and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I think it's a way to try to describe music for people. And so there's no, but we've actually had this discussion in the past, you know what I mean, where I think Philip, actually, who should be joining us hopefully. But you know, he's all over the map in terms of what he talks about his own music being, you know, his own artist. His name is his genre, basically. He doesn't actually categorize his music, you know, in the same way. So I'm sort of trying to describe his opinion. I'll let him speak for himself, but he had kind of mentioned that before. So I thought that was interesting, you know what I mean? But anyways, enough talk about that. Good to see you all. And so I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here and spin the wheel. I actually need to clean up some names here. Because Philip hasn't joined yet. Yeah, and I don't know, there's another Peter, but he hasn't joined. Okay, bear with me a second. Alrighty, so here we go. I think I got everyone that's online.
How many of you guys are based in Toronto, actually?
Say again?
I was just wondering who's based in Toronto.
I am.
I am. Thomas
Nice.
is as well.
Nice. Yeah, we should do one of these like in-person meetups like you mentioned.
Yeah, we do actually have access to a pretty central location near Yonge and Bloor, Yonge and Wellesley. So we may do a
Nice.
hybrid. But yeah, we'll definitely keep everyone in the loop. Whatever events we have, we put them in the in our group page or whatever. So, but yeah, so Vosto, your name has come up, and I was just
My
listening
name
to
has come up, indeed.
yes,
Once
your
again.
anyway. I'll let you speak for yourself. I mean, you sent a couple of tracks to me earlier today. I mean, actually, you sent one earlier, but I listened to them both today, and I was really impressed with them. As I typically am with your music, but I don't just like saying that about someone who's like a consistently good artist. Like these particular tracks have their unique, you know, character. But I'll let you go ahead and talk about them.
Right. So, believe it or not, these two songs that you're about to hear today, I composed them in the time span of 6 days or something, but it's more like 2 days for each one of them. Not more than that. I guess I'm in a position now where I'm comfortable to just start a project and, you know, it just flows. For some people, you know, it might, for beginners actually, it might seem crazy still to spend that many hours on a song, like 2 continuous days, but of course with sleeping and food breaks. But most of the day spent on making the song. So you spend all this time just to make what, 5 minute song or 3 minute song, but my songs are usually 5 minutes. So I experimented with vocals. You're used to listening to my instrumental tracks, but now you will listen with my voice. It's a new beginning because, you know, the AI is making music. People are making music with AI. They're uploading it to Spotify. There's artists now who make AI music and they have tons of followers, and it's a bit disappointing, you know. If you make an instrumental music purely, you might get buried in the new dystopian civilization of making music. So I say, I know that I can make interesting sound textures, you know. So now it's time to put some unique voice out there. It's time for me to discover my own voice and how I can shape the voice, what type of sounds I can do with it. You know, I like goth stuff, so I like mysterious voices, you know. So I like to turn my voice into a mystery box, you know. And then I create lyrics. I don't use the AI to create lyrics. That's another thing. that people do now. They're lazy. Well, why are you making art if you're lazy? So I made the lyrics. I tried to write about something deep that means something for me. There were some friends that also inspired me to make music. I shared them the 2 songs that I used vocals on, and then I got encouraged. Actually, it was mostly not me, but actually them who said, go for it, because it's a cool tone. You should use your voice. So I tried to use my voice, and this time I actually mixed it better because I understand a thing or two about mixing now. So it actually sounds pretty good. And once I got the mix down with the lyrics that I wanted, with the type of singing that I wanted, with the type of instruments that I wanted, then it was like, okay, this is the song. And then I made another song. And right now I'm making another song, and who knows, I might have an album by the end of the month. So I guess you can play first a song called The Calling, which is a song about freedom and discovering how to get out of the beast system, and with the use of love and courage and a little bit of God, maybe we can make a better world. So go ahead and play the song, man.
The Calling. Okay, I'm gonna try to make sure I play that one. If in
I'm gonna
case
open
I
the door to
start,
the cat.
yeah, okay, all right. So yes, let's go over to YouTube to check that out, and let's turn it on.
Love that ending. That's a great song, Bosno.
Yeah, I made some pretty good farts in it, if I do say so myself.
You're too modest though. That's very well done. And
Yeah.
you know, like the ending's great, but I mean, everything's great about it. The intro, the entire tune. I was talking to Boston earlier about how I thought on many levels as well. You have like thematically, uh, like even the vocal style, and then the lyrics work as well. So the whole composition, you know, is very like complementary. So it's I don't know. I was very impressed by it. But anyway, Peter, you had some comments about the mixing. I think the vocals.
Oh yeah, just I put it in the chat just if I thought that was great track by the way. I was digging it.
Thank you,
I
thank you.
just thought the vocals could sit better. It, I think there was a difference in like the first verse. The first verse stuck out to me, but as the song went on, it wasn't so much of an issue. But yeah, just check it
Yeah.
out.
Okay, well, that's cool. I also think might be an issue with the boominess somewhere, like 100, 170 hertz somewhere there. But glad you guys had good opinions about the song.
Are you cutting out your low lows like below 28, 20, 29 around there?
That's a question.
Yeah,
So I
I
mostly
usually high pass everything, and just so there's nothing lower
for
than
what
20,
instrument do you mean?
the whole mix. So there's nothing,
Oh,
just so there's nothing lower than 29 hertz.
I mean, you can have an easy slope that goes from 0 to 30, I guess, and then go with like a little low shelf. But I wouldn't cut too much, man, because then it loses all the warmth, all the cool stuff, in my opinion. Like I like to feel
No, but
the bass, you know.
below 30 you can't hear. It's like
You
it just muddies up the mix. You can
yeah,
hard
well,
shelf
not
you can
that's
hard
not the
shelf it
boominess
and
I
cut
was
it out.
complaining about, though. I in that area, I think it's okay. I think it's another boominess, the one that's like at 100, 200. Well, it's always juggling these things, and then you have to decide what has priority, because you want to have a good, like, nice rumbly bass, but then you also want, because I have a low voice, I'm like, come with me, so it's like it's like that needs space too, so it's juggling, and then if you have like other crazy science fiction sounds and lead synthesizers, if you cut the stuff from them too, like, you risk cutting the fundamental out, and then they start sounding nasally and stupid. Some things I do want to sound nasally, like, that thing that will, like, that. I don't know if you remember it from the song, but it was like a whiz sound, that
Yeah,
was going up. So that one is a nasally one, because it's just a layer to go on top of the other ones. It's a bit inspired from Lorne, that kind of sound. You guys know Lorne,
Yeah.
Acid Rain and stuff. So I got the rumbles from that, and but the beat is obviously not really a Lorne beat, although just before the kick drum hits, so in the let's say dubstep type of beat, but it's not a dubstep song, but just saying, um I got like a reverse cinematic kick going on that goes like each time, it's like the reverse, and like it's not rocket science, but it makes the sound more epic, if you make that. And also if you couple that with some kind of drone synthesizer sound that also comes up just before, like I really like doing that a lot.
Can I ask, like if you like how you mastered this for like live performance? Because I can tell from this that there's like huge hitting kicks, huge bass, and like you want that to come through, especially on speakers that are like anything ranging from like a clubhouse to like even more like larger venues. Like I was just wondering what you like what you did to like sort of optimize for these sort of environments.
Well, the problem is I don't have access to such things. So for now, I'm just gonna have to trust the visual information as opposed to the live environment. And when I go to the live environment, I'm gonna see that everything is crap, and then I'm gonna quit making music.
No, please don't.
But generally speaking, I mean,
Yeah, even
I
I
just
find a
tame the
few different
sounds.
environments. Sorry to interrupt, but so one thing that we often recommend is even like in a car, which distorts the frequency range in its own way, right? But just to say that sometimes gives you an indication of worst case scenario, I'd say, or maybe even some cases best case scenario, depending on how you look at it. But
Yeah.
anyway, the other thing is there are, like you say, software that can kind of, like you say, show you
Well,
different environments and
we
whatnot, dynamic range. But
no, the definitely, obviously side chaining stuff, so it's not stupid sounding, ducking stuff. Then, I got in the mastering, since you ask, I have the Ulin to basically look at the peaks and the LUFS stuff, the loudness stuff. And then I also meter with VOMT with the standard RMS meter. So I usually go for -8 with the energy on that. Some more famous artists like to crank that up more, but I don't crank it up. So I just stay around -8, and then maybe with
-8 dB or LUFS?
No, the LUFS also kind of between -8 and 10, something like that. And then, I mean, I could share screen. This is not on the other one, the standard it's just RMS meter, so that's not LUFS. That's the OG way of measuring levelness, the level, so instead of the LUFS measures the
perceived
ear thing, which is like only a certain frequency, like a block of the frequency range, from there to there. But the RMS was like more for the entire thing, not
the actual
focusing
physical
on certain.
sound. Yeah.
So, I just tweak it with that. I try to listen to the sounds a lot. I have the Pro L with the limiting, try to tame stuff with that. I have there's some presets. I find that the dynamic style is pretty good on the Pro L. It gives a more punchy feeling to the limiting. What else? I use Bliss EQ, so I use normal EQ to kind of boost the frequencies or take off frequencies. For example, not always boosting. Boosting is not always good. You kind of, if let's say I want this block to shine, I can just take out from here, maybe take out a little bit from here, and this part shines. And then I use another EQ with like some character to it. There's all kinds of bullshit today that they say they make it analog or something, but I use it and it sounds cool. It sounds better to my ears. It's more colorful, more real sound. And then I got like tape brothers. So I got tape, and for the mastering I use J37 tape. So that's a really cool tape, and you can change the speeds. You can change the tape simulation, the tape that spins. You can put an older one or a newer one. You can, by getting less speed or more speed, you can affect how bright or dark the sound is. And I just listen to that stuff and tweak it, and I just enjoy it. I just enjoy this process, and when it starts sounding pro, then it's like, okay, I'm enough.
But anyway, just wanted to say that normally it's one track per person, but tonight Vostok joining us from Romania as our special guest, and we've done this from month to month, giving certain people 2 tracks. So I'm gonna go ahead and play Vostok's second track, which is
good vocal debut there, Vostok. Very good.
Yeah, and this is another vocal track, so we're gonna get like double trouble here. And
double annoyment. Sorry, guys.
No, this is good stuff. It's very, very
no annoyment. No,
good stuff.
So this one is more dark wave, a bit more dark wave. You're from new wave, dark wave, gothy. So enjoy this, my friends.
Yeah, let's give it a listen. Make sure to turn it up.
Just an endless fight. They never stop. Nothing I can change. The bombs just drop. Looking at the sky, in ashes screams. I'm stuck in this life. Just shoot to kill. Just an endless fight. They never stop. Nothing I can change. The bombs just drop. Looking at the sky, in ashes screams. I'm stuck in this life. Just shoot to kill. in ashes screams. I'm stuck in this life, just shoot to kill, just an endless fight. They never stop, nothing I can change. The bombs just drop, looking at the sky, in ashes screams. I'm stuck in this life, just shoot to kill. Still see hope, I still have my soul. Even if I die, I know that I tried. Now it's time to fly, now it's time to fly. Still see hope, I still have my soul. Even if I die, I know that I tried. Now it's time to fly, now it's time to fly.
Another awesome track.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the live version next time.
Yeah, I have to make a live setup somehow. It's really fun, you know. It's a new dimension. I'm telling you guys, this is the key. If you guys have a musical ear, and I know you guys like instrumental music just like I do, but if you have a musical ear, maybe try explore your voice and see what happens. For me, it's like I just added another 100% to the sound because I added a message, a vocal tone that I can manipulate with the way I'm singing. I can do different type of sounds with the voice, and then I add. If in case you're wondering, I don't use any pitch correction. It's all natural, but it sounds a bit robotic because I recorded myself 2 times and then I split the signal into 2 and panned it. Well, one it's here, one it's here, so it gives the illusion of center, but it's not. They kind of sing together in the same time, but because it's a different take, it won't phase with each other, you know. If you use the same,
I was gonna say Ozzy Osbourne used to do that, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or at least doubling up a lot of his vocals. Who just, as we know, passed recently. But I don't know. Are you aware of that? I thought he did similar techniques.
yeah, it's a really cool technique because it makes me more confident in my music, in my voice, because it starts sounding a bit different to me. So, you know, if you're uncomfortable with your own voice, and then it somehow sounds a little bit different but still like you, then you get a bit more confident with it to listen to it, you know. And also if it's a little bit of shakiness in the sound on one of the tracks, the other track will kind of cover it, you know, and they will just help each other out. So it's really cool, and then some saturation, obviously, from Saturn 2. You take Saturn 2 and you multi-band saturate on the frequencies that you like from your voice, maybe make them a bit, colorful by boosting a little bit on the mids and the mid highs. But be careful because it mightn't be too rough. So it still has to sound like nice in the end, in the mix. And
So
then
you're
and then
saying
delay, a little bit of delay with a tiny bit of feedback, not too much. Yeah, because if it's too much delaying, it's gonna cover everything else. But just like a little bit, like listen closely to it, and it's like it should fade a little bit. Like it should go there a little bit, Sorry, I just repeat myself.
You had the right combination, and the comments I made for the previous track is even more applicable to this track, even, to both, frankly. But like I say, like the sound of your voice, the lyrics that you have as well, the
Story.
mood of the music, it all fits together.
Story, man.
It's a very good, fresh, even though it's a dark tune. What I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of
It's a dark tone that
variation.
finishes positive.
That's true too, actually. Yeah.
Because
So
it's like I believe like the message of my music is to make people to find hope in darkness. So I like to show the darkness because it's cool to listen to, the melancholy, the darkness. But in the end, you're gonna find hope, in my music and in real life, I guess, because if we don't have the hope, then why do we live, and then we're gonna end up doing drugs and killing ourselves slowly and not caring about life. So I just want hope, so in the end, you saw the shift in the sound and in the harmony. It was all of a sudden you had the bright kind of solo as well, the synth solo, it's like I'm happy now. So in the solo, I'm happy, So it's a play with dark and light. And of course, for me, light has to shine in the end. So you decide where to put the focus in the music, and make a cool story for people to listen. And if you like it yourself, then maybe others will like it. That's all. Lyrics have to be exactly from your heart, otherwise it won't work.
yeah, and I was saying earlier, it touches on how to articulate what I was hearing, like almost familiar themes, but then it's a twist. So it's not expected. Like you take,
So
something and then
the
so it's
the
nice.
calling.
It's a nice extra kind of, more thoughtful.
This one
It
is
makes you
about life
more,
it's about life in the trenches, basically. Shoot to kill, right? What am I doing here? I can't get out of here. I'm stuck in this trench. I'm stuck in the war, and I look and there's bombs everywhere and ashes and people screaming. That you can't desert, right? You can't, because they're gonna shoot you if you desert. So it's like it's a hard life out there in the war, And if you fight it for long, you get fatigued. It's hard out there. People want you to fight and be, and it's hard to keep the fight psychologically. You get destroyed, you know. But I also brought some kind of hope in the end. Even though in real life it's hard to bring the hope, but I see some stories that inspired me. So, for example, the movie Hacksaw Ridge, which is about a combat medic that refuses even to use the gun in World War II. But he is a medic, and people think that he does that because he's a coward. But it turns out he's not a coward because all the soldiers were like, most of them were injured and they were dying. They were dying. They were bleeding. And this guy, the other medics fled, and this guy came back and saved them one by one. And he managed to. This was in Okinawa battle, and he managed to save 75 people that day under artillery fire. So who's the coward, you know? And he was
Wow. What a story.
keeping all the hope alive. And every time he was saying, God, please let me save another one, another soul. And, you know, then he went into the medical tent and it was all the and 75 people just looking at him and being happy that they have another shot at life because of this guy. So, you know, even if in darkness, you can still find hope. And that's what that song is about. The shoot to kill one, you know? Like, yeah. And the
Hope in the wastelands.
yeah,
It's
and the other one is like cyberpunky, and you escape the dystopian system. You try to fight against it. So I think I talk too much, and I'm sorry, guys.
no. Don't apologize, and we appreciate beyond the high
Looking for
quality
the
music.
album. Looking for the album.
Yeah, this is like, you know, extra, whatchamacallit, generous of you to explain so much about the process, because it's, you know, it's very useful and interesting, and you're very talented.
And
So
all this mixing and all this stuff doesn't matter. What matters is to believe in your idea, and that idea that you make, you know, to be based in something cool that you resonate with, you know. Then you can make as much detail and mix it as much as you want and make it sound as cool as you want. If you watch my live streams on my YouTube channel or my Vosto channel,
yeah, throw a link, you know. And someone mentioned synthwave earlier. Vosto is partners with Night Ride FM, so one of the most
I'll throw a link, but what I wanted to say is that on my live streams, I don't really get to finish the job. It's just like the one small idea when I am on the live stream, even if it's like a live stream of like 4 hours, maybe it's still not going to be super cool, you know, but in my mind it's super cool because I know how it's going to end up if I work another 20 hours on it, you know. But a viewer who watches might not perceive that yet, you know, but I can see it, and that's what
no.
it's
And speaking of you know, generosity and being able to see into the mind of the creative process, at least as Vostel's approach, you know, having that for someone that's interested to see the entire workflow, it's extremely useful. It gives you context. It's sometimes words cannot necessarily capture
However,
everything.
those
So we may have just had an OBS start and stop there.
Thanks for listening and for sacrificing your time to listen to my nonsense.
Yeah, no, again, we appreciate your modesty, and we thank you for sharing. And you know, like, I don't know, it just keeps getting better, Vostel. You've made a lot of good tunes, and like these ones are like sounding like some of your best, to be honest with you. So
yeah, too bad nobody will listen to them because of the new AI apocalypse. But I like making music though. It's good for me. At least you guys listen to it, so I'm happy with that.
well, that you know, we the final word is not out on the AI apocalypse, man. So I think
No, I'm just saying they're just flooding
honestly,
the hell out of streaming platforms.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think, you know, AI generated music is going to be long lasting, like even if it's flooding it, because it's not really, there's no human component to it. There's no like actual soul to it. If you make music that like has a meaning to it, that has some personal meaning to it, someone else will connect to it.
That's
And I
my
think
goal.
that, and I think that's what like makes it come across. So I'm not too worried about that.
yeah, the humans, we got our advantages.
I'm joking, but I'm also wondering, but you know, I know that I can make something human, you know. I fight for the human. In my cyberpunk universe, I fight for the humans. I'm human 100%, and you know, it's cool to look punk and whatever. I'm just for the humans, man. I this human soul and expression.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
all.
Yeah. And it's beautiful to be able to use technology though to express the human soul and the various artistic possibilities, and it's great, but yeah, it's the human touch at the end of the day that makes it value add, basically,
Yeah.
my humble opinion. Okay, so I think I got everyone's name here, and thank you once again, Vostal. I really appreciate your sharing. Right, Jeff, how are you doing?
So, yeah, I don't know where this one came from, but it's sort of looking to, sort of a third world meditational kind of thing. And yeah, kind of a hip hop rhythm with some, yeah, something like that. So just give it a play and.
Okay, I think I have this set up. So let's give it a listen.